What's up guys, it's Kbab here and welcome to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. It's been about 3 weeks, but that's because I've been to France for 2 weeks and the third week my microphone broke, so I had to order a new one, but now I finally have a new one, so you might hear a difference. But yeah, anyways, this is a battle against MelihMegron. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Anyways, it's an RU battle. I'm using my same RU team again. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So yeah, I'm gonna lead off with my Aggron. He's gonna lead off with his Steelix. And this was indeed a very long battle, 59 turns, so it sped up a lot. And first time we're both gonna set up rocks. Even though I'm choice banned, I still have rocks, because nothing else on my team can learn it, so yeah. Now I'm going to switch out into my Among Us, as he's actually going to go for the roar. And he's going to roar me out into the worst thing, my Fraligator. So I'm going to go back into my Among Us. Why do I keep forgetting these names? And he's going to go for the Earthquake, and it does a decent amount considering I'm physically defensive. Anyways, I predict the anti-switch. I'm gonna go for the Stun Spore because I know these things like to carry Sleep Talk, so yeah. Now I'm gonna predict the Flare Blitz and go into my Slowking, but he's actually gonna get paralyzed, which is good for me because Choice Banded Entei hurts like hell, come on. And now I kind of predict the Clefable switch and go for the Psyshock, but it still doesn't do a lot, even though he's probably not running any defense investments, so yeah. And I'm gonna switch out into my Emboar just because I know he'll be threatened out by the superpower. And here I'm actually gonna predict the Spiritomb switch. I'm gonna go for the Flare Blitz, but he actually carries the Protect. So he scouts what I'm gonna go for, and I'm gonna go for the Flare Blitz, of course. And now I was just really hoping it would take out this Clefable, but as you're gonna see, it fails to take it out, and I'm gonna take a lot of recoil damage and seismic toss damage, which kinda sucks. But you know, on the following turn, I'm just gonna go for another Flare Blitz, because nothing on this team would really like to appreciate it, and even his Entei will take Stealth Rock damage, and yeah. And he indeed brings out his Entei, and I'm gonna go for the Flare Blitz after he takes 25% from Stealth Rocks, and as you will see, it fails to take him out. And here I thought, well, he probably knows that I'm Scarfed, and therefore I'm gonna switch out into my Feraligatr, predicting the extreme speed and knowing that I can take 2 from this range. I will be able to set up on him, but he's gonna go for the Stone Edge, and he hits, and he is going to get a critical hit, which did matter. I calced it, and that was like, wow. All my thought when I went into this battle is I want to get a sweep with Feraligatr, and my Feraligatr is the first thing that dies, which is like, oh come on, anticlimactic much. But now I can revenge him with my Scarfed Emboar, and he actually didn't know that I was Scarfed, which I was kind of surprised by, but whatever. I take down his Entei, and in comes a Spiritomb. I don't know which set he was running, so I didn't want to risk switching in my Aggron on a Will-O-Wisp. But he's in fact the choice banded variant, as he confirms here by going for the Shadow Sneak and not taking any, not getting lefties or something. But he could be Black Glasses, but that really isn't that common. So now in comes my Aggron, because I pretty much wall it, and here the moment I clicked Head Smash, I knew he was gonna bring in his Steelix, so yeah, it was a bad play on my part. But now I'm gonna switch out back into my Among Us, just because I know I can wall this thing, and he's gonna switch out into his Lilligant. Now I need a Sleep Fodder, and looking at my team, Slowking isn't really gonna do that much, so that's gonna be my Sleep Fodder. And yeah, he does hit the Sleep Powder, And in comes a Spiritomb now, and I'm gonna switch out back into my Amoonguss. I don't know why actually, but you know, well, I can wall that Lilligant for days, so yeah. Now here the trick is pretty obvious, so I'm just gonna go into my Aggron. And he is indeed gonna go for the trick, and he indeed confirms here that he is choice banded. And now he's gonna predict the Earthquake, and he's gonna go into his Lilliganth. And it was a nice play on his part. So even though it's resisted, the Earthquake does like almost 50%, which is like wow. Here I thought he would set up predicting my switch into my Amoonguss, and I thought, well, then I can just take it out with another Earthquake. But unfortunately, he's just gonna go for the Giga Drain, and here goes pretty much my only counter to that Spiritomb at this point. So that guy's gonna be a big threat now. So now I'm gonna switch out into my Amoonguss, and I know I can live one more Stealth Rock switch in. So as I said, in comes my Amoonguss, and he is gonna go for the hidden power. He thought it was fire, but it's actually, well, I think it's rock, just because of what's that thing called? Moltres running around in the Arya tier. So I'm just gonna go for the Clear Smog, and he brings in his Clefable. I don't want him to get his wish, so I'm just gonna go for the Spore, and just because I know it can take a Giga Drain from that point. And here I just thought, well, I'll just switch in my Aggron, thinking it will want to get the wish, but he actually switches in his Lilliganth, and that thing gets a wish, which is kind of a problem. And now I'm gonna switch out into my Amoonguss just because it can wall this thing, and now my Aggron is dead because it can't switch in anymore due to the Stealth Rocks, and I don't have Rapid Spinner. And now he's gonna make a questionable play. Let's go for the Quiver Dance, even though he knows I have Clear Smog, and yeah, it removes his stat changes. So now in comes a Spiritomb, and he is now free to go for the trick on any of my Pokemon, because my Aggron will die on the switch in. So I decided, well, my Slowking is the best switch into this, just because it's already asleep and it won't do much to the rest of his team. And I indeed get choice banded, and I thought the switch here was pretty obvious, and I was really surprised that he didn't go for the Pursuits, but he actually just goes for the Sucker Punch for some weird reason. Now he's gonna go for another Sucker Punch, but I predict that I'm gonna go for the Stun Spore, just because the the Parahacks every now and again might be useful, and here he does indeed get paralyzed, but Giga Drain isn't really doing a lot, and he does have pressure, so I can only fire off about 8 Giga Drains. And in comes this Clefable, and I'm just gonna go for Giga Drain, and two Giga Drains don't take him out, which is quite surprising. But then again, it's really bulky, so yeah. Here he gets a first turn wake, which I was like really pissed off, and I needed the crit here to take him out, and I did get it, which is like wow. I also typed in #Kbabmagic on the Skype chat, and he was like, oh fuck you. But anyways, now he makes a perfect bait. He brings in his Lilliganth for me to go for the Clear Smog, and then switches out into his Spiritomb so he can receive the wish safely, and that was excellently done in my opinion. Now he gets his wish, and now this thing has become like the ultimate problem again of my team, and I'm really frustrated, and now he's back to full health, so it's like Then again, this thing can't touch me, but I can't really touch him because he has pressure and I only have like I think I only have like 5 Giga Drains left at this point. Well, when you calculate with pressure, it is. So now in comes his Galvantula, and I know I can pretty much wall this thing. And he said he wanted the Thunder Paralysis, so that's why he didn't go for the Bug Buzz. But here I'm just gonna take him out with 2 Clear Smogs, as he fails to take me out with a Bug Buzz. So now in comes a Steelix, and I'm just gonna Spore this thing, and now it's asleep, so that's always good, even though it couldn't really touch me, but you know. And at this point I really want to get my Regenerator going, just because I'm like pretty much dead, well, half dead. So in comes a Spiritomb again, and now I'm just gonna switch out again into my Amoonguss because I want more Regenerator when I switch out. And he actually gets paralyzed on the turn that he wanted to go for the Pursuit, and which is very unfortunate, but you know, it's part of the game. Now I'm just gonna switch out again, and he gets paralyzed once again. So at this point I'm gonna switch again, and he does pull off the Pursuit this time, which doesn't really matter, just because this thing is pretty much fodder anyway. And now in comes my Amoonguss again, and I just need to start firing off Giga Drains at this point. And here's gonna switch out into Steelix. I don't really know why, but I'm just gonna go for more Giga Drains. And on the following turn, I think he's gonna switch out into his Lilligant. I don't know why, because it can't take a Giga Drain at this point, and it really wasn't going to do anything. So yeah, now in comes a Spiritomb again. I'm just gonna start firing off Giga Drains again, and they're really not doing anything, and he gets paralyzed, which doesn't really matter. And now he's gonna go for the Sucker Punch, and this is my second last Giga Drain, I think. So is this the right turn? Yeah. On this turn, I predicted his Steelix to soak up the final Giga Drain. So I sacked my Aggron just in case he wanted to switch into that. But I said that to him in the chat, and now he was convinced. Well, you're gonna go for the Giga Drain anyways, so I'm gonna bring in my Steelix, and I wasted my last Giga Drain on this thing. So this is where the fun part is. I wanted to go into my Rotom to set up a sub and pretty much go from there. But as you can see here, well, after I switch in, he's gonna predict this and double switch into his Spiritomb again. And here really started the mind games, because he could go for the Pursuit, he could go for Sucker Punch, he could go for Shadow Sneak, and I was just thinking for like 5 minutes here. So I asked my crush, is he gonna go for the Pursuit or for the Sucker Punch? And she said Pursuit. So I decided, well, I'm just gonna go for Attack, because that's pretty much my best option here. Because normally in these situations I go for the Pursuit, but as you're gonna see here, he is gonna go for the Sucker Punch and take me out. And the thought of me going for the substitute just didn't pop into my head, just because I thought, well, Shadow Sneak is gonna take me out anyways. So I just went for the Thunderbolt, and unfortunately he is gonna go for the Sucker Punch. So it's pretty much game right here, because that was the moment where it all revolved about. That was just it. So he's gonna predict this Clear Smog here, and he's gonna go into Steelix, and my last final hope here is if my Slowking can wake up and get some magical crits or something on this Spiritomb, because I know I can take one pursuit or shadow sneak from this range. And luckily the first one it gets paralyzed, so I'm hoping I might get the first one wake and get a critical hit or something. And but as you're gonna see here, I stay asleep, and that's the game, because I can't wake up, and my Among Us only move left is Clear Smog, and I can't touch that Steelix, and also not really that Spiritomb. So yeah, that was a very close, well, battle. It was technically 2-1 because, well, 1-2 because I ran, but you could see it as a 2-0. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. Kind of tired right now, but sorry if you can hear me breathe or something through this microphone. Just because I haven't gotten used to the settings yet, and also if my voice is too loud, that's also the reason. But in good news, however, I'll be getting my new computer on, well, next Thursday. So expect some Saints Row, expect some new games, expect some more Wi-Fi battles, just expect more and better quality in general. So I'm really excited for that. And I've bought like so many games on the Steam sale just for my new computer. So once again, I'd like to guys thank you all. I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me out. And you can click on the screen right now for my previous video in case you haven't watched it already. And that's pretty much it, so may the Kbab magic be with you. Peace.